G'day guys, it's Jamie Reynolds here from Naked Finance. Now, those of you who know us as a company know we're very passionate about financial education and helping everyday Kiwis get on top of where they are and how they're going to improve their life for the future. With that in mind, a couple of weeks ago I was lucky enough to become a father, so I've got a little daughter called Riley, but now it's time for us to practice what we preach. So we've been telling everyone the importance of setting up things early for their children to make sure they can benefit from things like compounding interest. Now we're going to do a bit of a series where you can follow along with us and see the steps that we actually take and we recommend people to take to put their kids in the best possible position moving forwards. Step one, you need to, once you've registered your child and they've been issued their IRD number, the first thing you really want to do is make sure you get them a KiwiSaver set up. It might sound a bit straightforward, but it's a really simple thing that you can do to make a big difference in the future. Now, getting onto the property market in New Zealand is already hard enough for young people, and we can only appreciate that it's going to get harder and harder as time goes on. So given my daughter, if we looked at the average age of a first home purchase in New Zealand these days is 37, logic would say that it might be a little bit later than that in the future, but if we accept it's still just the same and stays at 37, let's see if we can pull that back a little bit and put her in a strong position by the time she actually comes to buy a house. One of the key things we often see is that parents or grandparents set up a bank account for children. Now, this is an awesome gesture and incredibly kind, but it doesn't take advantage of compounding interest. So we know if we leave the money sitting in a current account, it's not really going to appreciate. To give you an example, I was lucky enough that my grandparents chose to do that for me. My nan commented when she gave me the money that she hoped it was going to be more than what it was. So I bought my first home, I bought off the plans. So as you probably know, it comes with no curtains. So I was lucky enough that the money that I was given was enough to put curtains all the way through the house, but not much more than that. So nice gesture, but doesn't really fulfill the criteria of what we're trying to achieve. Alternatively, what we can look at is putting away a small amount on a regular basis to allow compounding interest to take place and put us into a much better position. Two ways we can do that. One, we could open an investment account. Now, this is not necessarily my personal preference, and the reason for that is I know that I was poor with money when I was in my early 20s. So if it's an investment account in their name, when they reach 18, that gets switched over to them and they have full access to that. So, but that's to say that doesn't mean it's the wrong thing to do if the money you're saving is for the purchase of a first home, a purchase of a first car, paying off tertiary education, even starting a business. So we've got some clients who choose to do a bit of KiwiSaver and a bit of investment because they're hoping that their child's going to be a fledgling entrepreneur and want to open a company. So giving them that little bit of capital to start is going to be a really good thing to do. My personal preference is that we focus on the purchase of an appreciating asset, such as a home. So for Riley, what I'm going to do is we're going to do is set up a KiwiSaver account, pay in $20 a week over the long term, and target purchase age of around about 30. What that really means is we're pulling back the purchase age by about 7 years, but we're giving her a sizable contribution towards her first home purchase. Now, if we were to use the top performing multi-asset KiwiSaver, as per the last Morningstar report, that's performing at over 10% over the last 10 years. Now, whilst previous performance is not an indication of future performance, it's the best yardstick that we've got. So if we look at that for the future and we do that over time, it means that I'm paying into the account around about $30,000 over a 30-year period. Now, if you asked me, can I afford $20 a week? The answer is yes. If you asked me if I could just pull $30,000 out of my bank account and pass it to Riley now, probably not at this exact moment. And then especially if you asked me if I could pass her over close on $200,000 towards purchase of a first home, that's even more unlikely. But if we can just go back to the start and say $20 a week, little and often, then we're going to put her in a really good position moving forwards. So we'll be running these videos as a bit of a series that will come out over time to give you an idea of what we're doing with her through the years. The idea being is that it's not enough just to set it and forget it. It's going to be a regular check-in to make sure it's still fit for purpose and everything else we're doing is pulling in the same direction. If this is of interest to you guys and your children, please feel free to get in touch with us at the link below. More than happy to have a conversation with anyone to give them an idea about what they could potentially do in the future. We look forward to hearing from you and speak soon.